We are live. Thank you for joining, guys. This is a live stream dedicated to just checking out the last 15 minutes of the stock market. Today we're down 514 points right now. Let me refresh this page. 500 points. Earlier it was down 733 points to 29.
Live.
Oops.
Thank you for joining,
Got
guys.
reverb. Hold on one second. Can you guys hear me okay? So we're going to just take a look at the stock market crash, some predictions for the coming September 25th. Does anybody know what the significance of September 25th coming up is? A lot of people are saying that we're going to have some serious trouble, possibly an EMP tomorrow on the 24th. They're saying insurance companies are in trouble. They're saying this is going to cause an upheaval in the banking institutions. Lebanon is limiting withdrawals to $800 a month. People are going in there with real guns and toy guns and trying to get their money out of the Lebanon bank. So, and also the September 30th is the deadline for all 20 and 50 pound notes in the UK. After that day, they say, look at my last video on Grease Monkey videos, they say that they will not be honored and they will not be accepted or recognized as currency after the 30th, the 20 and 50 pound notes, because they're going to be replaced by the new kingly note, I must say. Let me go make sure. Can you guys hear me? Yes, I can hear you, says Wrathguard. All right, so we're at negative 500, but I wanted to show you this graph right here. This is the, every candle counts as a day. It's one day. So we got quite a tail right here, but we had a sort of a rally on the 1 minute chart. So it went from 29,211 to 29,550. But let me show you something on the day chart. And nothing that I am going to say here is to be construed as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I just know how to read charts a little bit, like that much, a little bit. But check out this drop here on February 20th, 2020. The market at that time topped out at about 29,500, and then within 42 days, 41 or 42 days, went down to 18,400s. So it lost 11,000 points. Now, from our current highs, let me show you this. From our current highs, which was about 37,000 down to 29,500, we're talking about a 7,500 point difference. Some economists say, not me, but some economists say that we actually need to go down to pre-2008 levels, which is 7,800, just to rectify some things. Because most of what we're seeing, if not all of what we're seeing in this not free market, but fixed market, rigged market, is quantitative easing on a massive scale. So you got the M2 money supply being diluted. You got stock prices for the most part going up over the years. I wish I could back off of this. Let me go to 4 hours. There we go. And that puts us back to, let's see, that's 2022. Oh, that's 4 hours. Let's see if we can do days. 1 week. Let's do a week. Yeah, see this back here on, what is that? March of 2009. Went down to 6,600. So people are saying we need to touch a correction that right there. Look where we're at compared to what we were back after that housing market crash. This is a pretty precipitous drop right here, and it's already broken resistance and support. It touched it and it kind of went back up because it doesn't look like it wants to go back down. But some people are calling the next level 26,000. We had an increase of 0.75 or 75 basis points on the 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Let me show you this real quick before we get into this next graph. And in November, the Fed is talking about doing another round of rate increases. So it says the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell by 550 points or 1.8%, with the Dow touching below 30,000 to a fresh intraday low on pace for a new closing. The S&P fell 2%, NASDAQ 2%. And then they say right here, Friday marked the fourth negative session in a row after major averages. For the major averages, the Fed on Wednesday enacted another supersized rate hike of 75 basis points and indicated it would do another 75 basis points at its November meeting. So if you look at the chart, I think I had it up here. or I tweeted it out. Yeah, if you look at the chart right here, I just made the chart nice and handy for you on Twitter. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage back in September 23rd, 2021 was 2.86. Currently, as of today, it's hovering around, because it does fluctuate, it's hovering around 6.46. So that means borrowing for a house costs more than twice what it did just 365 days ago. That's called massive, massive inflation. That's called a power and wealth transfer. That's called, hey, if you want to borrow money for that house, it's going to be almost two and a half times more expensive than it was this time last year. And why is that? Why is that? Who's rigging the markets? Where does that wealth get transferred to? Because we know where it got transferred from. It got transferred from your pocket and my pocket to the pockets of people who are, I don't know, let's call them social engineers, psychological operators. So here's where we're standing right here, and we've got, let's go to the minute chart, let's go to the minute chart. We might see some serious activity in the next 9 minutes right here, because the market closes in 8.5 minutes. So it'd be interesting if this thing dropped back down to 211 and then closed on the day at like 700 down. We'll see what happens though. In the meantime, I wanted to show you this chart right here. Somebody was mentioning this, and then I keep hearing a whole bunch of people saying, hey, watch out. Tomorrow, September 24th, something's going to happen. Our lives aren't going to be the same after this. Other people are saying, well, it's going to be on the 25th. Wait a second. When is the 25th this year? Is the 25th on Monday? 26th is on Monday. So this Shemitah, signs of Shemitah, is supposed to be this 7-year cycle. And the Shemitah, in case you don't know what it is, because I had to look it up, it's some kind of Sabbath year where on the 7th year, the Shemitah year waives all outstanding debts between Jewish debtors and creditors. But according to this graph, and I've not vetted this, I've not looked at this, I've seen people talking about it, every 7 years ending with this Shemitah, there's some kind of financial crash. Back in 1966, it was the financial market dropped 20%. The oil shock upheaval market in 1973, 7 years later, was a 30% drop. Recession begins in 1980 and 1987 on that Shemitah. Stock market crashes. 1994, the bond market crashed. 2001, the stock market crashed. 2008, stock market crash precipitated by all those, what did they call them? Just the junk loans, whatever it was. Somebody could get into a loan and not have to show what their earnings were. So the lenders were actually putting people in a position where they knew they wouldn't be able to pay for it, precipitating a crash. That was in 2008, 2009, and then 2015, they said there was a mega crash alert. I'm not sure what the 2015 was that they're referring to, but apparently Shemitah ends on the 25th of September, and people are saying, hey, look for this continuity, this consistency of what happens when the Shemitah ends. Very interesting. 50-year Jubilee, is that what it is? So let's just check in on this real quick. Looks like the market's rebounding just a little bit from its 211 lows, 215, 211. And we have 7 minutes before the market closes. And we're going to take a look at what's going on with Alex Jones, this Alex Jones kangaroo court dog and pony show, where it's really not about Alex Jones. It's about making anybody who's got a different way of looking at things, a different way of proclaiming things, using their voice to say, hey, I disagree with the official narrative. I think it's like this. That's who they're going after. Anybody who's got a mind of their own that employs and exercises their critical thinking. That's what this is all about. It's not about Alex Jones. It's not about decimating him to the tune of $45 million. It's not about just calling him a conspiracy theorist. It's not even about the way they're going after this guy. You would think he was the one who pulled the trigger. You would think he's the one that actually went out and actively eliminated lives. That's the way the attorneys are going after him. And we're going to look at some of that here in a second. But keeping our eyes on, we're at 532 now. So that means what are we down percentage-wise? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, generally across the board, all the major cryptocurrencies are down about 2 or 3% right now. So we're down 1.68%. It'd be interesting if we got a crash in the last 5 minutes. Wouldn't that be interesting? AJ fanboy still can't seize controlled opposition and think this literal theatrical trial show is real. Shaking my head, says live music. Cash will most definitely be king, especially the dollar. Just saying, good luck with the gold and hyperdeflation. Thanks for joining, guys. We're just going to hang around right here before we hit some Alex Jones stuff. And I got to admit, when I look at these Alex Jones trials, there is an entertainment value to it that I can see why people tune in on, because Alex Jones is just basically this caricature sitting in a courtroom being questioned by somebody who calls herself a legitimate judge in this injustice system. And it's basically a hang all Americans who have a different opinion out to dry trial. In my opinion. Crash on Monday, says Amir. That's what a lot of people are saying. They're saying they anticipate a crash coming. Okay, so we just lost 550, lost almost 100 points. Here we go. Last 4 minutes. Last 3.5 minutes of the trading session. That would be so interesting if just a huge red bar got painted right there. Monday 9/6, Jupiter will be in opposition. It will rise in the eastern sky as the sun sets in the west and make the largest planet's closest pass to Earth in 59 years. When am I going to write a book? Oh my gosh. In my spare time. Oh, and while we're watching the market turn over like this, if it does end up turning over, wouldn't that be interesting if we closed 1,000 points down? There's going to be a live stream tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 11 p.m. Pacific and Mountain Time, which would be what? 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to interview Paul from the Paul Enslaved channel. And that's going to be on my Here's the Deal. Let me make sure I give you guys let me give you the link to that. That's going to start in 22 hours. Yeah, it says going live in 22 hours. So let me go back to the chat room here. Here is the link to Paul Enslaved. That was highly requested. Also highly requested is we're going to go over today after the market closes here. Come on, just go ahead and drop out, bottom. Just go ahead and drop out. You got what, 2 minutes? 2 minutes and 5 seconds before the closing bell. See what this does right here. I wanted to catch this live in case we have some kind of historical event happen here. Might be a good idea to pull cash and sit on it until you need to pay bills, then put it back in just in case they freeze the banks. What's up, Des Sherwood? Why didn't I get this notification? I don't know. I don't know why I hate even talking about it because people are like, quit your crying. Everybody gets censored. Okay. All right. We got a minute and a half for the market to close. And then we'll go over this Alex Jones trial or some of it. We're going to go over the high points. It's, for the most part, it's boring, but it's got its spurts of entertainment that are quite educational, as a matter of fact. Thanks, Mike Smith, for hitting the like button. Yeah, can we get 100 likes before the market crashes? 401k is in jeopardy. I mean, just look at this chart right here. This is the week chart right here. This is the 1 week chart. Here's the 1 day chart. That's weak right there. That's really weak. Let's go back to the 1 minute, and we have 30 seconds. Doesn't look like we're going to get what we were looking for. Thoughts on moving to the R platform? What, Rumble? Is that what you're talking about, Hawk? What's up, Perdition Media? We will get into this Alex Jones thing here in a couple seconds. I just wanted to have the market close. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's like a little mini rally. 578, 570. It went in the opposite direction. Count on me to call the markets 180 degrees wrong. Okay, so it's 3 o'clock. Market closed. Let's see what the Dow closed at. Down 483. That's not too bad. 1.6% before the weekend. Oh, Rumble opened on the market today? They had an IPO opened up on Rumble? Did not know that. All right, let's go over some of this Alex Jones stuff. Again, when we watch this, I picture myself sitting in Alex Jones' seat because that's what they're doing. They're cross-examining you, every single American. Oh, you got a different opinion? You think the official story can be questioned? Well, we're going to teach you a lesson, buddy. Here's Alex Jones. This is where the SH lawyer grills Alex Jones on calling the judge a tyrant. This is classic, man. Classic.
With the sale. I don't know. And ever since this trial started, and you've been calling it a kangaroo court yourself, right?
Yes.
Right. And you've called this judge a tyrant, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you actually use that word a lot with your audience. You call people tyrants, don't you?
Only when they act like it.
Okay.
Look at the judges. Look at the judge's face. I only call them tyrants if they act like it. What a great response. If you act like a tyrant, I'm going to call you a tyrant. If you act like somebody who's going to oppress somebody and take away their rights for no freaking reason when you know you can't legitimately do that, I'm going to call you a tyrant. Good answer.
And one way that you've been conveying to your audience that Judge Bellis has been acting like a tyrant is by showing her with lasers coming out of her eyes, right? You know you did that?
I didn't direct that first time I saw it.
Look at her eyes. Look at her looking over at Alex Jones. So one of the ways you do this is you actually meme this judge right here by and calling her a tyrant and characterizing her as a tyrant is you put lasers in her eyes and memes. Look at her eyes here. You did what?
I didn't direct that first time I saw it was in court.
Oh, so you've been watching this?
Yeah, I've been watching.
Okay. You could have just watched from the stage.
Action, argumentative,
Sustained. But you've been broadcasting your show during this trial, haven't you?
I have taped some of my show.
Let's pull up 477.
is this full?
This should be in already.
It is a full exhibit.
This is a freaking witch hunt.
477, Your Honor.
This is the tyrant you've been telling your audience about, right? Yep.
I'm barred from saying why I said it. So
Guys, you gotta love it though. You gotta love it. No matter whatever you think of Alex Jones, this entertainment level is through the roof. So he leaves the courtroom, gives press briefings, talks about and tapes his show calling this judge a tyrant. And if you act like a tyrant, don't expect not to be called a tyrant. Then he gets with his meme creators and he does this kind of thing, knowing full well that they're going to pull up this meme. You know, Alex Jones knows that the defense attorneys are looking, they're hawking Band.video. They're looking for stuff. They want more kindling to throw on this fire of persecute every American who has a different thought and uses their critical thinking skills and doesn't believe the official story. So you know Alex Jones knows they're going to pick him apart. They're going to put this in the courtroom. And what I love about this is, yeah, that's Infowars.com/donate. He takes opportunities in the courtroom to go ahead and continue advertising for his site.
I didn't ask you why.
oh,
This is the tyrant
Alex Jones Kangaroo Court Watch Day 1.
you've been telling your audience about, right?
I believe.
Sir?
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
look at me. Yes. No, I don't know.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if she says, Mr. Jones, look at me. Okay, but you're going to have to turn your laser eyes off first because I don't look into the eyes of tyrants. Awesome. Just drive it home, Alex. Just drive it home.
I don't know. I believe.
Sir?
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
look at me.
Yes.
Yes. No, I don't know.
Look at his eyes. This is just classic.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
The
Hilarious.
answer is you don't know.
About that. I didn't make that.
This is the tyrant pictured here that you've been telling your audience about.
You're damn right it is. You're
I
damn right.
thought you were asking me again about the About the image or about me believing this is tyrannical? Can you restate the question, please?
Sure. I'll restate it for the third time for you.
Objection to the comments, move to strike.
This is,
And we have one motion. Okay, thank you.
this picture right here, that's Judge Bellis, correct?
Yes.
Lasers coming out of her eyes, correct?
Yes.
That's who you've been referring to as a tyrant to your audience, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you refer to tyrants.
And that's who you refer to as a tyrant. He should have gone, yes, yes, it is. But I only call somebody a tyrant if they deserve to be called a tyrant.
To your audience a lot, right?
Some.
Right. Tyrants are people who are going to oppress others and strip them of their freedoms, correct?
That's a common definition.
Right. And you've not just called Judge Bellis a tyrant, but you said that this whole thing, what's happening here, is part of a plot, isn't it?
Objection, motion in limine.
No, not the whole thing. I think the jury's real.
So, just, can I have that question again?
Yeah, I think what I asked
Don't
Judge,
answer, go ahead.
Understand.
Thank you.
what you've been telling your audience is that this whole thing is part of a plot, I believe is what I asked.
Objection, motion in limine. Politics.
That's a yes or no.
It's a yes, no, or I don't know, sir.
I thought there was, well, withdrawn. May we approach briefly?
Yes, sir.
I love that as they do these sidebars, they're still mic'd up and you can hear what they're saying.
He's going to talk about if this goes on, Hillary, this, that, and everything else. And I thought that politics, was out of it. He thinks this is a plot orchestrated by, excuse me, I don't mean that. He thinks this trial reflects the effort of tyrants to silence him, including George Soros, Hillary Clinton, and others. And by asking this question, the door is being opened. I said, that's part of the plot. Yeah.
Just so you know, this is Alex Jones' attorney right here. This guy with the long hair. That's Alex Jones' attorney. This is the defense attorney trying to grill Alex Jones right now.
That opens the door.
And it hasn't just been, can we pull that back up?
I didn't hear the question.
I haven't asked one yet. It hasn't just been this way that you've been depicting the tyrant. Let me show you Exhibit 477.
Oh, here comes Exhibit 477.
Is this 477? One moment.
What is the relevance? Somebody asked, Trout Golfer asked, what is the relevance of all this? What relevance of going over this right here? This is not Alex Jones on trial. This is the American people on trial. This is the First Amendment on trial, right? This entire court proceeding is you don't have the freedom of speech in the United States if what you say offends somebody. If what you say is heinous, if you don't have the right to distribute what we would define as hate speech. This is all Americans on trial, not just Alex Jones. And while I admit that there's some humorous parts, there's some entertaining parts, the overall seriousness of what's going on here, we can't ignore that. We got to keep that forefront in our minds. What happens to Alex Jones in the negative is happening to all of us in the negative.
You also have displayed Judge Bellis engulfed in flames, haven't you, to your audience?
Oh, yeah. What's the relevance of questioning the memes? I can't get into the defense attorney's head, but I would think that it's to discredit Alex Jones even more than he already has been discredited in the minds of the judges, in the minds of the jury, and saying, hey, he doesn't mind slandering this judge. Where is it really if you're acting like a tyrant, if you're carrying out tyrannical actions and then somebody calls you a tyrant, is that slander? I mean, what if it was wrong? Isn't that just this man's opinion? Hey, I believe you're being oppressive. I think you're being tyrannical. I think you're trying to rip the First Amendment, my First Amendment right away from me. So I can only imagine that this is basically character assassination in front of the jury, in front of the judge, so that they can get whatever decision they want.
No, one of my crew made that. They make thousands of images.
Thousands of images.
Just
sir.
1 second. Is this a full exhibit?
No, it's not, Your Honor.
Pull it down. Pull it down. Pull it down.
Look at that image right there.
No objection, Judge.
They'll show it again here.
461.
Are those the judges in flames?
Do we have a bench copy?
Look, here we go. Look at this.
And that's Judge Bellis on the right there, isn't it?
Yes.
Engulfed in flames.
Yep, sure is.
And
that's a.
I didn't ask you the other person.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, that's another judge, right?
Objection, motion in limine.
That's not what I was going to say.
Objection, motion in
That's
limine.
another producer's report. That's
So, Mr. Jones, because your attorney stood up and objected, so remember when there's...
I'll withdraw it. I'll withdraw it.
Okay.
but you.
Yeah, another
Just
person made
just
this
one
report.
second. Just remember that when there's an objection, just,
Be quiet.
yeah, that's what you're doing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Another one of your employees made that, right? Greg Reese.
Yes, it's another producer. It's an independent producer. His report that was made that we later featured on the site. I first learned about it in the last court case. But yes, I think it's showing that Lady Liberty's being burned up by due process being erased.
And Mr. Jones, Greg Reese, are you saying he's not an employee of yours?
I believe he's a contractor now.
Okay, you pay him, yes?
Yes.
Okay, you pay him to create these video segments, right?
Okay, so that was that right here. Here's another one. Basically, he's saying what he should have said, which would be hilarious for some comic relief. Our reporters went down to the depths of hell, and we actually kept. This is an actual photo of this judge right here and the other judge who tried to railroad me and take my First Amendment right of freedom of speech and freedom of press away. It would have been just dynamite.
10 years ago, I thought San Diego would happen.
Robert Parker's sitting right here. He's real, isn't he?
Yes.
And for years, you put a target on his...
Now that right there is who? Not going to say his name. Remember him? There he is again. Here they say his name right here.
10 years ago, I thought San Diego would happen.
Robert Parker's sitting right here. He's real, isn't he?
Oh,
Yes.
who is that? Who?
And for years, you put a target on his back, didn't you?
Objection in the form of that, Judge.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
Didn't you?
I've admitted I've said his name. It's true. I haven't said other people's names when we know who they are.
You put a target on his back just like you did every single parent and loved one sitting here, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
No, you
Objection,
didn't.
that's argumentative. It's speculative. There is no foundation for it, and it's inappropriate to
let's
this
move
time.
on.
These are real people. You know that,
Objection,
Mr.
Judge.
Jones?
I think you just told them to move on.
Just like all the Iraqis, but you liberals kill and love. It's just, you're unbelievable. You switch on emotions on and off when you want. It's just ambulance chasing.
Why don't you show a little respect?
Objection, Judge. I think that you get what you give in this court. Objection.
You give what you get in this court. Well, defense attorney, you stepped into that, and Alex Jones walked through, so you give what you get.
Families in this courtroom here that lost children, sisters, wives, moms.
Is this a struggle session? Are we in China? I've already said I'm sorry hundreds of times, and I'm done saying I'm sorry. I didn't progenerate this. I wasn't the first person to say it. American gun owners didn't like being blamed for this, as the left did, so we rejected it mentally and said it must not be true. But I legitimately thought it might have been staged, and I stand by that, and I don't apologize for it.
And don't apologize, Mr. Jones. Please don't apologize.
Now, I've already apologized to the parents over and over again.
We know
I don't apologize to you.
Objection.
Don't apologize to you.
you're going to do it again.
Objection, Judge.
Aren't you?
Objection.
No,
Objection.
Don't
Argumentative.
apologize.
That's an interesting exchange, because you have this defense attorney wanting to go after Alex Jones personally, as though he was the trigger man, as though he's the guy that walked through the school and did the dirty deed. That's how they're painting Alex Jones out, for nothing more than airing his opinion on his own program about how he thought that whole thing went down, after which he apologized. So what is this defense attorney wanting him to do? Apologize 1,000 more times? What is that going to do? He's just trying to make him look as bad as possible in the eyes of the jury and the eyes of the judge right here, so that they can extract as much money from him as they can, and then use Alex Jones as a precedent for the next person who goes on their program or their YouTube channel or their website talking about their opinion and how they got some questions about people who are propagating the official story, namely CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird, MK Ultra Media, and the propaganda arm for the military-industrial complex.
Well, it's hard for me to get a word in edgewise.
It is, but I
Because
think
your
there's
client
one
is-
officer of the court and one witness and
So
an officer of the
why
court
don't
heard
we
the
move on,
objection.
and I can't rule on your attorney's, excuse me.
I'm sorry,
Wait a
screaming.
minute.
I can't rule on your attorney's objection.
Understand.
Keep talking, and he may have legitimate.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Because there's going to be another Robbie Parker, isn't there?
Objection, Judge.
No.
Sustained.
There's going to be another.
Objection.
Can I get my questions out?
When it's the same form, second time, the inference is it's going to also be objected.
I didn't say Parkland was fake. I didn't say Uvalde was. And no, okay, so that's a fact.
What did you say about Aurora?
Objection.
Before this,
What did you say about
Excuse
I'm
me, are you
objecting to the
objecting to
question.
your
I believe it was a real
client?
shooting, but he was in a mind control program, just like Theodore Kaczynski. Sorry.
Are you objecting to your client's
So a lot of times, apparently, the judge has instructed Alex Jones, do not continue talking when your attorney objects. When your attorney objects and I sustain it, that's in your favor. So stop talking when your attorney objection I sustain. So that's interesting. This little exchange between the defense attorney and Alex Jones is interesting to me.
Program, just like Theodore Kaczynski. Sorry.
Are you objecting to your client's answers, Attorney
Oh, that's
Pattis?
both the answers and the questions. This is a courtroom, not a
So
trial.
here's what I'll tell you, Mr. Jones.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
You're in a court of law. You have to follow the rules as the attorneys do or officers of the court, and they are accountable to me, and I will deal with them.
Yep,
However,
clown show.
while there were media in the room, this is not a press conference. This is clearly not your show, and you need to respect the process.
I understand.
Whether you like it or not, you have to follow the rules.
I understand, Your Honor.
So just take a breath, have a little water if you like, and wait for the next question.
Judge, I believe there's another admonishment as
Oh, count.
I think it's a mistake to call someone your honor when you've clearly established that you believe they're a tyrant. And it's not necessary. He could say yes, no, I comprehend what you're saying. You don't have to say your honor. Because like we mentioned, I think it was in yesterday's live stream, if you're not acting honorably, then you don't get honor. You get what you give. If you're giving dishonor, then why would you call somebody your honor? And that's another thing about state-run courts is that they're trying to artificially force you to say something that absolutely isn't true. Those people sitting behind those desks aren't honorable. If they're on the dole for the state or for local or for a federal government, they're actually living off the extracted, extorted tax cattle, time and laboring energies. So from the get-go, they're getting their paycheck from extortion. There's nothing honorable about that. But the state wants you, almost forces you to call them your honor.
So I'll see you on a sidebar.
Oh, another sidebar. Mic them up. Mic them up.
If I admonish anybody, it's going to be both of you, okay? You're shouting over your client. You just have to stop. Okay, so let's get the next question and let's move forward.
It's hilarious that they're mic'd up during a sidebar. Not supposed to be able to hear what they're saying.
Mr. Jones, there's going to be another mass shooting.
objection.
One word basis. Hearsay, irrelevant, what is it? One word.
Argumentative.
Overruled.
There's going to be another mass shooting.
Are you saying I'm going to shoot people? Like, how do I know there's been another mass shooting? Like, it's my fault. People think I killed the kids. I mean, that's my answer to you.
Let me see if I can ask my question.
Sure.
You expect there's going to be another mass shooting?
There probably will be.
And when there is, you're going to do it in pounds, right?
Objection.
No.
No?
Relevance.
All right. Why don't you look at your screen there, sir? Pull exhibit 76, Mr. Jones, please.
Say 76?
Yes.
Yes, that is for exhibit.
Pull it for everybody. This is your homepage, right? Infowars.com.
I can't, load up, please. Yes.
This is Mikhail Gorbachev, right? He died about 3 weeks ago, didn't he?
Yes.
That's what they say. That's what's reported. Do I believe everything or half of the things or a percentage of the things coming from mainstream media? Not exactly. Why is that? Because they constantly lie to us.
The right side of the page. A little bit bigger, please, just the part survey there. And you're asking your audience that comes to your page to take a survey, aren't you? Correct?
Yes, I didn't write the survey, but
And the survey is,
good questions.
what will be the most likely deep state false flag ahead of the midterms, right?
Good question.
Yes.
What's the first option?
Mass shooting, but I didn't write the poll.
Excuse me, sir. Mass shooting?
Yes.
And so when the next mass shooting comes, you're already conditioning your audience to believe that it's a fake staged event, aren't you?
Oh, he's not a lawyer. He's a psychologist.
Well, false flag doesn't necessarily mean staged. It means they let it happen.
How many people responded to this survey, sir?
I don't know.
Mary says in the chat room, I wish Alex was my neighbor as long as he didn't eat me. Remember him saying, it might get bad enough. I'll eat my neighbors. I'll eat them. I don't want to, but I'm going to do it. If it comes to me feeding my family or you feeding your family, I'm eating my neighbors.
I wasn't looking at it.
But there's going to be a mass shooting. And you're inviting your audience, even now, even after all this, to suspect that the next people, the next Robbie Parker, the next family are actors too.
Objection, argumentative.
No, I didn't say Uvalde.
You could say the same thing about mainstream media. What are they constantly trying to condition us for? I don't care if you're watching CNN, MSLSD, CBS, ABC. What are they trying to condition us for? That all these crazy lunatic teachers out there who question their, am I male? Am I female? That these people are to be honored above all other teachers. And they are to attain the status of protected class. You can't do anything to bring them down. They are a perfect example for our students. You could use the same argument this defense attorney is using against Alex Jones against anything coming out of fake stream media. Oh, you're doing that to condition your audience to think a certain way about events that may or may not happen in the future. Aren't you, CNN? Aren't you, Ted Turner?
Was staged. I said the police did over 77 minutes. And then the others either power grid collapse, terror plot, bombing, COVID.
Right. Could
The
be
U.S.
any of
government
these.
said the Russians.
It could be any of these, right, Mr. Jones?
The U.S. government said the Russians staged a false flag to start the Ukraine war, and I believe it.
Right, Your Honor.
Yeah, they're real.
So, Mr. Jones, whenever the next mass shooting strikes, we can be pretty sure what you're going to do, right?
Objection, speculative.
Yes or no?
I didn't write that poll, but I stand behind it. I've never seen that poll, but I think that's a reasonable question.
I'm done, Your Honor.
All right, so we are going to end here for the day. Ron will collect your
Alex Jones is like, whew, ending for the day, taking a recess. This is great. Judge warns, no more courtroom outburst or else.
How are we going to avoid this problem tomorrow? Because I assume your client wants to.
I'm not sure the problem is mine. I raised an objection and my adversary didn't stop for a ruling.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier, E. Honda. They will use this. They are going to use this and are using it to come after every single person who has a critical thinking thought in their head. Anybody who doesn't believe, like you're told to believe, you don't believe the official story. You don't believe that it went down the way they say it went down. And how many times have we been proven to be right? Body cam video released and it turns out to be a completely different story than what the cops told you beforehand. It's like, oh, the guy really wasn't resisting you. The guy put his hands behind his back and he was complying with you, and you handcuffed him with his hands behind his back, and then you decided to knee him in the throat. Oh, now we see how it happens. Because originally you said, no, he was resisting and he had me in a headlock and he was bashing me in the head. And none of that actually happened, did it, officer? Time and time again, from law enforcement to mainstream media to the stuff that comes out of these courtrooms right here, time after time, they are lying to us. Speaking in double negative, speaking in hypocrisy, being inconsistent.
He kept going, and I believe on his.
All right, so Attorney Pattis, the record will reflect that your client just kept giving answers quicker than you could get your objection out, pretty much. It is literally impossible to rule when the question is being answered before you even got your objection out. There's only so many times I can tell someone, don't answer a question when your attorney objects. But what I'm not going to have is what we just saw. So I don't know, I leave it in your capable hands to figure out a way that we don't have outbursts tomorrow.
When I'm objecting argumentative, and my client is baited into responding.
I love how judges try to be authoritative, and there's not an authoritative bone in her body. It's all fake. It's all pretense.
I believe it's the court's responsibility and counsel's responsibility to get a ruling on the objective.
How do I do that when I can't even hear you because your client is giving his answer through your objection? It is impossible. I cannot possibly
stop him from speaking then so that I can be heard. I think the last 4 or 5 questions were argumentative, and I'll probably.
You want me to stop your client from speaking?
When there is an argument going on between he and counsel and I'm objecting and argumentative answers, yes.
Physically, you want me to stop him from speaking? I'm trying to be as polite as possible, and I've told him the record will affect how many times I've told him, and he tells me he understands.
My record is clear, Judge. When counsel here are the professionals. I've made argumentative objections, and my adversary continued to raise his pitch tone, made appeals to the gallery, to the public, perhaps to the press, back turned to my client, screaming. That's inappropriate in any courtroom. I don't care if my client's up there baking cookies. I think it's the court's responsibility to stop that, and that's what I was asking to be done. I don't know.
Okay, so how about we do this tomorrow then? So I will have a zero tolerance policy from now on with counsel. So you can expect a contempt hearing if anybody steps out of line. And Mr. Jones, same thing. So, sir, you got to do a better job of following the courtroom rules, all right, with respect to your responses. I do not want to have a contempt hearing. I'm going to say it again. I do not want to have a contempt hearing.
Look at her talking to him like he's a little bitty kid. Okay, yeah, no problem, tyrant. No problem. Thanks for not looking at me with your laser eyes.
I don't. So please talk to your attorney, and tomorrow will be another day. Right? Anything else at this point?
Nothing for the defense, Judge. No, you're
We're adjourned.
I don't know what that fart sounded. What was that fart sound?
No, you're
We're adjourned.
I think it was somebody adjusting their mic. Okay, this was a little bizarre. They get into Alex Jones' cryptocurrency holdings, and the defense lawyer is trying to back him into a corner of all these cryptocurrency donations went to you, didn't they, Mr. Jones? It was about $8 million, wasn't it, Mr. Jones? What do you do with all this money, Mr. Jones? But, it's not see, this is a broad brush, broad spectrum trampling of our First Amendment rights and our Fourth Amendment right to be secure in our persons, houses, papers, and effects, to be secure in our property. Because like I said, they're trying to crack this nut open of this Alex Jones show trial to project everything that they're pouring onto Alex Jones onto us, including the violation of our Fourth Amendment rights.
Encourage your audience to give you money is in cryptocurrency donations, right?
Yes.
And I think we have that page. And you have a page on your website that's just for cryptocurrency donations, right?
Infowars.com/crypto.
Is that a little advertisement just there?
Well, we're fighting the deep state. We need money.
All right. And now I want to look at the clip for you on your show.
A little advertising there.
Objection.
We're fighting. I love that. I love that.
Objection.
Website that's just for cryptocurrency donations, right?
Infowars.com/crypto.
Is that a little advertisement just there?
Well, we're fighting the deep state. We need money.
All right. And now I want to look at
I didn't catch that the first time I saw it. Well, we are fighting the deep state. We are going to need a whole truckload of money, buddy. So, yeah, you bet you. It's Infowars.com/donate.
clip for you on your show tonight on
I'm sorry, when you turn around to look at the camera and talk, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. That will end up as a clip on your show tonight.
Objection.
Your advertisement for your cryptocurrency page.
You know, I mean, people want to keep us in the fight. So I hope whoever the big whales are that have given us money before keep doing it.
We'll just keep minting money as you're in this courtroom. Won't we?
Objection.
Yeah, he's wanting him to be ashamed for making money on his radio show. He's wanting to make it look like a bad thing that he's bringing in money to put out an alternative form of what people would call news media.
All right, let's move on.
I mean,
And
people care about the First Amendment.
And in the cryptocurrency page, people can give you in Bitcoin, yes?
Yes.
Ethereum, right?
Yes.
And it says support the info war, right?
Yes.
But there's nothing on that page that tells your audience that when they give you cryptocurrency, it goes directly into your personal account, is there?
So what?
Oh, I've told the listeners that.
Mr. Jones, listen to my question. On the page, the crypto page, where you say support the info war, there's nothing on there that says that the crypto donations go directly into your personal account, is there?
And then directly to the company account. That's how crypto works.
Okay. Do we have the page? 516. Oh, I don't think it's admitted yet. Take a look at your screen.
I know the page.
Okay, well, I need to admit it to you. Is that it?
Yes.
I offer it, Your Honor.
No objection, Judge, on that foundation.
And that is exhibit what, Ron?
I believe it's at 516.
So ordered.
This is it. Give crypto. Fund InfoWars. Sponsor us with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, right?
Yes.
And then it gives you another of, I'm sorry, you can back out of that.
So what?
It gives you all these different cryptocurrencies you can give, right?
Yes.
So just to be real clear, this is a yes or no. When somebody gives cryptocurrency over this website, it goes directly into your crypto wallet that you personally control. Yes or no?
Yes.
And when that happens, you have full and sole access to that asset, right?
Yes.
It's password protected.
Yes.
And earlier this year, in a number of donations, $8 million in Bitcoin was donated through this page to you personally, correct?
I think it was 9 million.
9 million. And you cashed out about 5 million of that, right?
No, that's when you deposed me. We've cashed all but $60,000 out, and it's all been put into InfoWars.
Okay, so let's just get this real clear. So your sworn testimony to this jury and anybody else who may be interested is that that full amount that went to you personally, you then put right into free speech systems. That's your sworn testimony?
I don't have the exact accounting, but do the math. There's 60,000 left in the wallet, which is public. Anybody can go look at it. You act like it's all secret. The whole point of it's public. And so there's the wallet. And then that's how my IT folks set it up. That's how you do it, is you got your personal wallet, and then I put it in my private bank account, and then I put it into the company. And I think we put all the money I put in my account into free speech systems. It's been, I'm not allowed to say the rulings, but it's...
I bet Don Lemon is sitting there going, you made how much in 1 year just from your Bitcoin wallet? $9 million? I bet there's some of these, like Jim Acosta sitting there from CNN going, why does Alex Jones get to make so much money peddling misinformation? Why is it when I peddle misinformation over here on the Counterfeit News Network, they're only paying me like $580,000 a year, and Alex Jones gets $9 million just in one wallet? It's not fair. Mainstream media on every level doesn't want alternative media sources to succeed because it directly challenges them and takes a viewer away from them every single time. That's why CNN Plus failed. After 3 weeks, CNN Plus failed after hundreds of millions of dollars shoveled in that project because they can't compete with a guy in his socks and underwear who opens his laptop on his kitchen table. They genuinely cannot compete. And Fake stream media owners cannot stand that.
Trying to shore it up, and then there's 60,000 left, hoping it goes back up. That we're waiting, but I don't think it's going to go back up for a while, and we're probably going to dump that out next week and put it in the free speech systems.
So just to wrap this up, your sworn testimony is that everything.
Yes, Alex Jones is a gatekeeper. That's established. Just like Donald Trump is a gatekeeper for the Zio elite. Alex Jones is a gatekeeper for the Zio elite. So is Joe Biden. How do we know? From their policies and the things that they say. When you continue to stand beside the guy who instituted and initiated Operation Warp Speed and gave billions and billions, if not trillions of dollars to the big pharma industrial complex, that person is gatekeeping for somebody, and it's not you. So is he a gatekeeper? Yes, but that's not what this trial is about. This trial is about projection. Gatekeeper or not, whatever you think about Alex Jones, whatever, he did express an opinion on the internet, and that's an opinion that this court and this prosecutor and everybody who's sympathetic to these parents right here, everybody in fake stream media, is against your ability to exercise that freedom of speech on your platform or any platform for that matter. This is opening the floodgates of, hey, we think it's right and appropriate because now we have the Alex Jones precedent, they'll say probably in the future, to economically terrorize these people because they didn't speak according to the official story. They weren't towing the party line. They weren't speaking according to the top shelf authoritative narrative.
Other than $60,000 of that $8 million that you got went into your personal account, and then you transfer it into free speech systems. Yes or no?
No. Yeah, Will, he questions Trump, but he still supports him. And how much do you want to bet if Donald Trump actually makes that official announcement and runs in 2024, one of his biggest supporters is going to be Alex Jones, because that's the way it has been. That's the way they operate. See, I that's why I confronted Alex Jones on the street corner in Virginia back in 2020, January of 2020. I confronted him about, hey, what about the red flag laws? What about Donald Trump making that executive order where he effectively took away freedom of speech from college campuses? What about all these things? Yeah, I definitely got some problems. You got some problems. What about red flag laws? Extreme risk protection orders that actually violate the Second Amendment and the Fourth Amendment, where agents of the state can come into your house at 2 o'clock in the morning, put you at gunpoint, put your entire family in jeopardy, and steal your guns and never give them back because somebody thought you were a danger to yourself and to others. That's what Alex Jones is standing behind. And he'll turn a blind eye to the Donald Trumps of this world while he attacks the Obamas of this world, which shows you that he's still trying to bolster the left versus right paradigm lie, which is one of the problems in this world, that if you cleared that up, we could have some crazy, crazy freedom and throw off our slavery shackles.
Yes, other than...
I'll back this up for the prosecutor's question.
Wrap this up. Your sworn testimony is that everything other than $60,000 of that $8 million that you got went into your personal account and then you transferred it into free speech systems. Yes or no?
Yes, other than bonuses, $100,000 of bonuses went to the IT people and some of the graphics crew. So they got $100,000.
You got none of it yourself, is what you're saying.
Yes, and it'd be nice if we could put on evidence, but we're locked from it. I could probably get you those numbers. Would you like those?
No, what I want you to do is offer sworn testimony that
Objection,
none of that money
objection.
went to you.
Jane, why don't we just rephrase the question?
I got a new question for you. I just want to be crystal clear. None of that money ended up with you personally. Yes or no?
Well, you'll say technically. Well, technically, it went in my bank account, and then I put it into free speech system. That's how it works.
None of it remains in your personal possession.
I'd have to do the exact accounting. I think it may be negative. I mean, I think I may put more money in.
All right, Mr. Johnson.
Well, Chris, you're trying to.
Well,
Yeah, everybody read Does It Matters chat right there in the chat room at the 3:38 mark. I'd be going off about SH. I'd tell the judge I have the whole thing archived, including that blank, getting literally, you know what, on camera by her handler. Why circle a firehouse for hours? Yeah, bunch of questions. Can you answer that question, Judge? Can you answer this question, Judge? How about the psychotropics that were used, with the supposed shooter? How about the gun sales? How about there's so many things that we could talk about this SH thing. That he backed off. We talked about this, several months ago. That he backed off from his initial claim, I think was a bad move, because he could just genuinely go, I genuinely do not believe the official story. You can stay with that. The burden of proof, you're saying that it did happen. I'm questioning whether it did happen. Now the burden of proof is on you, not on me. You can't prove a negative. I think it would have been way better for his case, instead of him going, well, I went down the rabbit trail and I think I got reverse psychological operated on myself, and I made a big mistake. So I apologize to everybody. I was wrong. What if you still think that you're right? What if you still think there's a lot of questions that haven't been answered? Maybe in the original framing of the dealing of that event, when he dealt with that event, he could have stayed a little bit more conservative and gone and kept it in the question field instead of the assertion category. Well, what about this right here? Why is this happening? Why isn't CNN reporting on this that we saw with our and we recorded with our cameras? What about H. Wayne Carver acting all funny? Aren't there some weird things that kind of throw off red flags in your mind of mainstream media? Because we got a lot of red flags going off. I think initially when you make a statement of fact, and you can't back up that statement of fact, no matter how compelling it may seem to you, if you don't have every last shred of evidence you can get your hand on, maybe it would be a good idea not to make that assertion and just keep it in the question category. So when it comes back to this, it's like, hey, I'm just asking a question. I don't have to believe the official story. And one of the reasons I don't believe the official story, I can give you objective evidence upon evidence upon evidence where mainstream media and government sources and the courts have literally lied to us to keep this little secret. And then we find out 40 years later, after that document was declassified, that everything that I was saying all along for the last 4 decades was absolutely true. And the whole time you were trying to slam me as a conspiracy theorist. Can you answer that question? How about just keeping it like that? I think that would be wise. I think it would be prudent. But he stuck his foot in it, and then he backed off from it when there are still a lot of questions that haven't been answered.
Yeah. Mr. Maddie.
I think we can close that.
Okay.
Got a torn larynx. It's been torn for about 20 years. It really hurts sometimes. Sometimes it really flares up at the right time. Let's see. No, I'm not going to play that. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, this is him getting rebuked by the judge one more time, which is just, my gosh, these judges. Honda 420 says, I do a weekly show called the Gay Frog Chat. Brian, you're welcome on it anytime. Thanks for that super chat, Honda. I appreciate that. Here, let's just go. This is 2 minutes long, and then we're out of here.
Did you see any Bill Aldenberg's testimony?
Objection.
I did.
You did.
This is what you tell your audience. Did you see the testimony?
Sustained. So can we break the question down?
But that's what you told your audience.
Which one, Judge?
That the FBI had sued you, right?
No, that's the headline that another person made. But
And this video right here, I don't know if you can see it, just as of September 15th, had 190,000 views, didn't it?
yes,
And you heard,
More than CNN. Can you believe it?
did you watch Mr. Aldenberg's testimony?
I watched quite a bit.
You heard him describe the threats he had received?
Yes,
You heard him describe the harassment he had received?
yes,
You heard him describe years of feeling insecure as a result of the army that you sicked on?
Objection, Judge. Move to strike that.
Sustained.
he said I never even said his name.
And then-
No, yes.
Disregard that.
So, Mr. Jones, your attorney objected.
Sorry.
No, let me finish. Okay. I sustained his objection and you answered it anyway. He won and you kept going. So, just, why don't you take a break, drink a little water.
Okay.
Take a breath.
Look at
And
it.
just remember.
He's like a
when Attorney
It's like a Muppet.
I think your words were that you would be quiet.
Thank
and
you.
I'll rule.
You're right.
He won.
I'll slow down.
Okay. How's that, Attorney?
And then the jury is to formally disregard the comments of counsel.
So ordered.
And after all that, you still chose to put Bill Aldenberg's face up in front of
Objection.
your audience of
Fact,
hundreds
not
of
an
minutes, correct?
Assumes a fact, not an evidence.
Overruled.
No, I did not direct Greg Reese to make this, but I think it's a good report.
Okay. So when you did become aware of it, you didn't take it down, did you?
No, I stand by the report.
Okay, we had already seen that. All right, guys, real quick reminder on my Here's the Deal channel. Tomorrow we are going to have a special guest by popular demand. That's Paul Unslaved. That's going to be tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 11 Central, and wait a second. 10 Eastern. No. Let's scratch that. It's going to be 2 o'clock Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 o'clock Central, and 11 o'clock Mountain / Pacific time. So that's going to be Paul Unslaved. And I'm looking forward to that. And Corey is in the room, and Corey was wanting to do a live stream. And I don't know, Corey, if you're still in the room, leave your link in the chat room. Thanks, guys, for the support. If you can, give this video a like. If you want to, give this video a like. There's 281 likes right now. Let's see if we can get up to 300 likes. It really helps with the algorithm. And share this video with everybody you know. That's 1 hour, and I was trying to get done in a little under an hour. So, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Leave your thoughts on what you think about this Dog and Pony Show mock trial for Alex Jones. What do you think is going on there in reality? Because, you know, the way they present it isn't always the way it actually is. And the second thing is, what do you think, in your opinion, one of the biggest problems in America or in the world actually is, and how do we solve that problem? Because we're going to be talking about that with Paul Unslaved tomorrow on Here's the Deal. If you haven't subscribed to my Here's the Deal channel, I'm going to go ahead and put the link. There's the link right here to this actual video. So go over there and give the video. 299 likes. One more and we got 300. One more like and we got 300. Who's going to be there's number 300. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. I will see you in the next video. Remember, until then, the price of freedom is now and will always be eternal vigilance. And indifference to this notion is the means by which the people have and will secure their own oppression. I'll see you guys in the next live stream.